What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. This your boy Joe, and man, in today's video we're gonna be doing something a little different. Now I'm just getting put on game about just pearly things. I've been seeing her clips like all over the place, and she been basically red pilling people. You know what I'm saying? If you're familiar with the Matrix, when you take the red pill, it basically shows you the deep, darker secrets of what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? And basically, she is red pilling everybody. You dig? If that's the first time you heard that term, man, hit that like button. But basically, man, she be red pilling people, and she like has grown in popularity. As you can see, she has, a massive following. You know what I'm saying? And I remember watching an interview that she did. I can't remember the YouTuber's podcast's name, but she was just talking about how she went overseas to play volleyball, I think, and she was pursuing her master's degree, and she was just using YouTube as as possible added revenue or income to kind of have, in combination with what she was doing with her volleyball career. And she said it just blew up, and she's been pretty successful. As you can see here, man, she got over 1 million subscribers on YouTube. And yeah, it's crazy, bro. Like how social media can really change your life. You know what I'm saying? But I did want to check out a clip that caught my attention, and I wanted to give my input, and
that's the thing is, like, in 2022, women are bailed out of.
We gonna pause it. So basically, man, she was having a conversation. They were discussing this matter on their podcast, and as you can see, the title reads, "Women are bailed out of, for every bad decision." And it caught my attention because she was speaking some truth, so I'm gonna play the clip, and yeah, man, I'm gonna come back and give y'all my input.
Of every single bad decision that we make, like every single. And that's the thing is, like, in 2022, women are bailed out of every single bad decision that we make, like every single one. We are bailed out. So, for example, like, they used to require women to be virgins to get a ring. We make the decision to sleep around and we still get rings, right? That's one bad decision.
Yo, red pill, dog.
Or let's say we get pregnant. You can get bailed out of that bad decision because you get an abortion. Mm-hmm. Or you can keep it and you can still give it up for adoption. Or you can keep it and you can still get remarried, typically, where, like, historically you would have been done for. Even if you weren't a virgin, like, you would be done for. And so you have those, like, being bailed out of those bad decisions. On top of that, women own 2/3 of the consumer debt. So, and all of the government programs are typically women on them, and they're men paying for them. So it's men always bailing out women for poor decisions.
So I want to say that historically, because I think what this really comes down to is, like, there's a cultural aspect to this conversation, right? The man has always been the provider and the protector. So it's a natural, I guess, more of an innate response for most men, historically, to take care of the woman. So society has structured a lot of these programs and funding, in that same fashion, where they contribute to the aid of females, of women. So, while I definitely see her point, I think that I don't think that it speaks less of that of the woman, but just more of the system that's in place.
That's interesting. Like, I was actually talking to my dad about this. Mm-hmm. Well, he kind of brought it up because he watched the podcast, and one thing that he kind of mentioned was, actually, as women, we probably have a lot more, like, we have because we're emotional as beings, right? It's like the longer term impact of these things that can happen, and the consequences of it can have a
Okay, she babbling on, but I just wanted to kind of give y'all her piece, right? So she went on to say and give and kind of like line out all the different things that women are bailed out of. And I think as men, man, we get a little salty, you know, when you think about child support, paying taxes, you know what I'm saying, or getting taxes back, you know, getting a tax refund, you know, a lot of different things that women get assistance with that guys, we don't even think about applying for assistance because we know we're not going to get it. You know, even if we would meet the qualifications, you know, sometimes like for food stamps, a lot of guys don't apply for food stamps, man. You know, like we just go with what we got, you know what I'm saying? And I just think that naturally it's just more of an innate thing for men to, you know, if you gotta, you know, you basically we do what we gotta do. But what really struck me was the fact that when I watch a lot of these popular clips, a lot of her popular clips, if you notice, usually she's in a room full of black people. You know what I'm saying? You know, full of black people. And it's just sad for us as a race, you know. It's sad to look at what our culture has turned into, right? There's no strong leaders within our culture. All the people that we've looked up to, you know, has either been killed or their legacies and, you know, their legend has been tarnished, right? Bill Cosby, right? He was going to be somebody that was going to be, you know, he was going to be a pillar in the black community, right? Tore him down. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have any guidance within the black community. The culture has become about sex, you know, money, drugs, you know, that type of thing. Being disrespectful. You know, the more disrespectful you are, the more popular you are. You know what I'm saying? Instead of protecting the family, you know, we've broken up the family through music, through movies. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's been a lot of destruction done to the nucleus of the black family. Instead of, you know, more promotion of black families being pushed to our, you know, young ones coming up, they're pushing a lot of gay culture, right? And no disrespect to the gay community, you know what I'm saying? But it feels as if, you know, that there's an agenda to kind of push that towards the black community for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're always the face of everything now. Everything, bro. Like, our people are always propped up to either get embarrassed or destroyed, you know, their character embarrassed or destroyed, or they're using us to push some sort of propaganda somewhere, you know, using our music or likeness to push some sort of propaganda. And there's never nothing empowering, you know what I'm saying? Like, even the stuff that we thought would be empowering, like Black Lives Matter, right? I'm gonna find out she's stealing money. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's never through and through what it appears to be when it comes to black empowerment or something positive within the black community. And if it's positive, you know, if you're trying to be positive, like you look at rap, right? A lot of the conscious rappers don't make it. A lot of the artists that have substance to their lyrics don't make it, you know, because they're not talking about killing. They're not talking about, you know, drugs and hoes and this and that and the third. You know what I'm saying? That's what you got to be talking about to have a successful rap career these days. And it's really sad, man. Like, it's really disappointing, you know. And I look at this podcast, and I you know, just kind of looking at the conversation, and look at who's leading the conversation. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you never see. I won't say you never see. But I'll say that you don't see it as much. You don't see, you know, white people sitting down with each other and bashing one another. You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of this stuff we see within the black community, and I just think that it's sad, man. I think we got a lot of work to do. We got a long way to go before we get to where, you know, we need to be. And even looking at the Deion Sanders situation, right? So the report came out that the AD for Colorado did the interview, and let's look it up while we on YouTube, man. Let's look it up. So pretty much the AD said they don't even have the money to pay Deion yet.
Financial advisors over $10,000 a month. I will get you 3 to 5 plus quality.
So man, y'all check this out. Listen to this.
Transfer rule changes, and how did you come up with enough money to get this guy?
Well, look, we don't have the money yet, but I know we'll have it. So I'm not worried about that piece.
Try that again. Let's play it back for the one time.
Transfer rule changes, and how did you come up with enough money to get this guy?
Well, look, we don't have the money yet, but I know we'll have it. So I'm not worried about that piece.
We don't know. We don't have the money yet. Bro, come on, man. And I mean, I get that there was a lot going on at Jackson State. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure that it was tough being in the community, and dealing with a lot of the things that they said that they have been dealing with. And that's usually what comes with those types of communities, right? So I definitely understood and get, you know, the fact that he wanted to pursue an opportunity to coach at a higher level. And I'm all for that, man. I don't want to get it twisted, you know. But I guess my biggest problem with the decision that he made was the fact that it just shows our history, right? You know, it just adds to the lineage of prominent black figures who had the potential to have a real impact on the black community, and allowed the money to come and usurp, you know, their stance on what they were doing. Every time, dog. Every time. It's crazy, bro. Because I saw Deion having an impact on HBCUs that was going to completely turn the NCAA on its head. Like, was gonna flip it, turn it on its head, you know, because now you're not watching Alabama and LSU, because all your top recruits are gonna be going to Southern University, you know, Prairieville, Grambling State University, JSU. So now you turning on the TV to watch HBCUs play, because all the top recruits are going there. So guess what? All the TV deals are going to the HBCUs. So now the Alabamas and LSUs and Arkansas and Tennessees, nobody's watching them play, because the talent that they would have had, right, is going to be at Jackson State. It's going to be at Southern University. He had an opportunity to completely revolutionize HBCUs and college football, right? But it makes sense, man. You knew they wasn't gonna let Deion stay at no JSU. I think that even if he wanted to stay, you know what I'm saying, they wouldn't have let him stay. They wouldn't have let him stay there because he was about to do something that they couldn't afford to allow him to do. Look, I was in New Orleans for Hurricane Katrina. I heard the levees explode, right? They had to explode the levees so that they could save the French Quarter. So they flooded the lower Ninth Ward to save the French Quarter, right? Because that's where all your tourists, that's your tourist area, right? They wasn't gonna allow us to survive because the hurricane didn't do the most damage to New Orleans. It was the levee exploding. The water from the levee is what really did us in. But they had to save the French Quarter. But that's a story for another day, man. We gonna save that for later, man. We gonna talk to y'all about that later. But yeah, man, Deion, they had to get Deion up out of there. Wasn't no way they was gonna leave Deion at JSU, right? You done had the #1 recruit in the nation go to JSU. He left JSU, now he at Colorado, but that makes sense, right? For Colorado to have the #1 pick, you know, a Division I school, right? It don't make sense for Colorado, obviously, but like a school that caliber of a school to have, you know, to have him there, that makes sense. Because now you're on the level that you intended to play at anyway. He never intended to go play at JSU and go play in the SWAC, right? So that's just my take on the whole Deion Sanders situation. I feel like the powers that be wasn't gonna let Deion stay in Jackson State, dog. This man ain't even got the money to give Deion, and he out of there. Deion going there hoping and praying he gonna get his money. You feel me? But that tell you all you need to know. You dig? At least the 300,000-400,000 he was getting from JSU, you knew it was coming. And you know he making money when he donating money back to fix other shit. So you know he's straight. He making money. Don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? He was getting him. He giving his money back, donating it back to the school. So you know you straight when you can donate money back to the school from your salary. Come on now. Work with me. And then that's the other thing, man. I just, you know, I don't know what's going on, dog, in our community, bro. I think all the old heads dying, you know what I'm saying? They dying off. You know, a lot of these, a lot of our cornerstone, you know, elders, you know, they dying off. You know what I'm saying? So now it's up to us. I'm 35. You know what I'm saying? Like the game is changing. And we don't have no strong members of the black community to keep us in check. So we just wilding out. You know what I'm saying? Like the elders not even respected no more. The young people, man, like when I was coming up, the drug dealers, bro, they would make sure we went to school. Man, get off the corner, man. You hooping, man. You know, go do your thing. They would make sure we stayed off the corner, and they kept us out of trouble. You know, if they had to get us some basketball shoes or something like that, they did that. But their #1 priority, bro, was to make sure we was straight. You know, I had family members in the game. They never tried to pull me in the game. They always instructed me and encouraged me to stay on the path that I was on. They never encouraged me to come do what they was doing. You know what I'm saying? They always wanted me to do, you know, what I was doing, which was playing basketball, which was going to lead me to college and get me out of Louisiana. I'll tell y'all a story. I ain't never told this story. Hope I don't get in trouble. So it's my freshman year of college, right? It's my freshman year of college. And I leave Louisiana to go play basketball in Kansas. You dig? And I come home for the first time. My first time riding flying on the plane and this and that and the third. So I come home and, you know, my folks, you know, they hanging out somewhere. So I hop in the car. I ain't never smoked weed before in my life. I'm riding in the car, man. We riding from Baton Rouge to New Orleans. You dig? So we get to New Orleans and I'm with my folks, you know what I'm saying? My cousins and shit. And I'm high, right? I get out the car and ain't really thinking nothing of it, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be cool with these fools. I'm trying to be down with these fools, you know? I get out the car, man. We go upstairs, go in the apartment. They like, wait a minute. Man, Rob, you high? I'm looking. And I ain't never smoked before, so this is my first time getting high, you know what I'm saying? I'm loaded, nigga, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you know, I'm laughing, I'm giggling and shit. And, you know, what I'll never forget, man, is just the disappointment on their face, you know what I'm saying? And them boys telling me, man, we don't respect that. You know, you left to go play basketball, man. You know, man, you ain't supposed to be smoking, man. You can fuck up everything. You dig? I'll never forget that conversation and just how disappointed they was. You know, and that stuck with me, man. And that actually showed how much they really cared about me. You dig? And I'll never forget that, man. You know, but we don't have that in our community anymore. You know, now it's all about, you know, doing what you do to either get some type of shine, you know, and it don't matter who you hurt, who you disrespect to get it. You know what I'm saying? We don't have no respect for our elders, no respect for our women, shit, no respect for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, the game is really changing, and I just feel like, man, we ain't got nobody to correct it. All the old heads, you know, they leaving. You know, and then the ones that's here, we don't listen to them anyway. You did. But anyway, man, that's all the time I got today. Man, I hope y'all enjoyed this one, man. This was something that, you know, this was a little different. Just wanted to touch on some other topics, you dig? But, man, I'm going to be checking back in with y'all, man, you dig? I got a long day ahead of me tomorrow. So without further ado, man, I'm about to sign off. This your boy, Joe. Chill Squad. I'm out.